The Galactic Council's ultimatum. The stars stretched out across the blackness of space, a vast sea of light and mystery. Earth had always been just another blue dot in the endless expanse. But tonight, that would change. In the silence of space, a message was sent, a message that would alter the course of history. The Galactic Council had spoken. The communication was clear and cold, relayed through the strongest interstellar signals. It reached Earth in the dead of night, broadcasted across every channel, every screen, every corner of human civilization. The message came in the form of a deep, resonating voice, amplified by thousands of speakers in every major city on Earth. The voice was unmistakable, a calm yet demanding tone that resonated with power and authority. This is the Galactic Council. We have watched you for centuries. Your species, though primitive, has become a threat to the galactic order. You are warned. Surrender your world to the Galactic Council immediately. Disarm all your weapons of mass destruction and submit to our authority. Should you refuse, we will unleash the full might of the galactic fleet upon your planet. Your destruction is inevitable if you fail to comply. Across the globe, humanity paused. Millions of people gathered around their screens, glued to the broadcast. The words were a threat. The council was powerful, its fleet vast, its influence stretched across galaxies. The message was clear. Earth had no choice but to submit or face annihilation. The world held its breath. Governments scrambled, military leaders gathered in tense meetings, and scientists and strategists pondered what this threat meant for the future of the human race. Panic crept through the streets in some places, while others remained eerily calm, unsure of how to respond. People feared the unknown, unsure of what the Galactic Council's wrath might bring. But in the heart of Earth's military command center, Commander Alex Carter remained unfazed. As the message ended, he stood in front of a vast wall of screens, his arms crossed, observing the shocked faces of world leaders as they discussed their next move. "You've seen this, Commander," a voice beside him said. It was General Maria Jensen, a seasoned strategist and Carter's trusted ally. Her voice was steady, but her eyes betrayed a hint of concern. "I've seen it," Carter replied, his voice calm and confident. He glanced over at the massive tactical map on the screen, showing the positions of both Earth's military forces and the approaching alien fleet. Humanity had been warned, but Carter was not worried. Not yet. "What do we do now?" General Jensen asked, watching him closely. "We don't do anything," Carter answered. "Not yet. Let them come." The Council had underestimated humanity. He knew that. They believed Earth to be just another insignificant, isolated planet, its inhabitants unworthy of a place among the stars. What they didn't know was that humanity had been preparing for this moment for years. The humans had long known that Earth was vulnerable, that one day a force like the Galactic Council might come knocking at their door. But humanity was not as helpless as they seemed. Earth had hidden its true strength, its weapons, its advanced technology, and its warships were far more capable than the Council could ever have imagined. The humans had been ready, waiting in secret for a moment just like this one. "We're not going to beg for mercy," Carter continued. "We're going to show them what Earth is made of." General Jensen raised an eyebrow. "You think that will work?" The Galactic Council is not a threat to be taken lightly. We're talking about forces beyond anything we've ever faced. Carter smiled slightly, a glint of determination in his eyes. "I'm not underestimating them. But they haven't seen us at our full strength. When they get here, they'll know who they're." Earth's leaders were still in shock, but they had no choice but to take action. The planet was on the brink of an unprecedented crisis, and they had to prepare for what was coming. But Carter was different. He wasn't focused on panic, fear, or submission. He focused only on the inevitable. The galactic fleet would arrive soon, and humanity would be ready. As the world's leaders scrambled to form a response, Commander Carter's thoughts were already focused on something else: the warships. Humanity's hidden warships, tucked away in remote parts of the Earth's system, ready to be deployed at a moment's notice. They were far more advanced than the Galactic Council realized, faster, stronger, and more powerful than anything the Council had encountered before. The truth was, Earth had been preparing for a war they had known was coming. A war with a powerful enemy. And when that enemy arrived, humanity would fight back, not with fear, but with the full might of their hidden strength. "Get the fleet ready," Carter ordered, his voice calm but firm. "When the Council arrives, we're going to send them a message they'll never forget." The tension in the room was palpable. It was the calm before the storm. The galactic fleet was on its way, but humanity wasn't panicking. Instead, they were getting ready to fight back. The first wave of the galactic fleet was just days away from arriving. They were coming to Earth with firepower and overwhelming numbers, ready to destroy humanity if necessary. But Earth had its own secrets. Humanity wasn't as helpless as the Council thought. They would soon find out what Earth was capable of. The countdown had begun, and Earth wasn't going to give up without a fight. "You said, Earth's hidden strength." As the days passed, the tension in the air grew thicker. The Galactic Council's fleet was on its way, and Earth's leaders scrambled to prepare for the inevitable confrontation. The initial panic had faded into a cold, steely determination. Humanity would not bow to threats. But what they didn't know was that Earth had already been preparing for this day, quietly and in secret, for years. Deep beneath Earth's surface, hidden in plain sight, were humanity's greatest secrets. Advanced warships that no one in the galaxy knew existed. These ships, buried in underground bunkers, cloaked in secrecy, and powered by technology far beyond anything the Galactic Council could fathom, were ready for war. These ships had been built for a moment like this. At a hidden military base on the dark side of the moon, Commander Alex Carter stood before a massive digital display, watching as a map of Earth's defenses came to life. It showed Earth's military forces scattered across the globe and the incoming alien fleet. But what caught his attention the most were the hidden locations of Earth's warships, vessels so powerful they could turn the tide of the battle in an instant. "We've prepared for this," Commander Carter murmured to himself, watching as the ships came online, their weapons systems humming to life. "We just needed time." General Maria Jensen stood beside him, her face set in a hard, determined expression. "The Council has no idea what we have waiting for them. They think they can intimidate us into submission, but they haven't seen the true power of humanity." A few weeks earlier, few people outside of the highest military ranks knew that Earth had such powerful technology. For decades, Earth had been quietly preparing for a possible invasion. Scientists, engineers, and military strategists had worked tirelessly in secret, building a fleet of ships capable of standing against the greatest powers in the galaxy. Unlike the alien fleets, Earth's warships were designed for speed and precision. They weren't the biggest or the most imposing, but they were faster and deadlier than anything the Galactic Council could throw at them. Each ship was equipped with advanced weapon systems, including laser cannons, energy shields, and cloaking technology. These ships were built for one purpose: survival, and they would not let Earth fall. "The fleet is ready," Carter said, his voice calm but filled with quiet pride. "We just need to wait for them to arrive." General Jensen nodded. "It won't be long now. The first wave of the Council's fleet will be here soon." The two of them exchanged a brief look, knowing the importance of this moment. The Galactic Council's fleet was coming to Earth with a singular purpose: to destroy or subjugate humanity. But humanity wasn't going to make it easy. They were going to fight back. Back on Earth's surface, the governments of the world had activated emergency measures. Civil defense systems were in place, and the military was on high alert. In every major city, people were beginning to prepare for the worst. But there was an undercurrent of hope too. For some, the Council's ultimatum felt more like an insult than a threat. How dare they believe that humanity, with its rich history of survival against the odds, would simply surrender? Commander Carter wasn't worried about the reaction on Earth's surface. He knew that humanity was resilient, and they would rise to the challenge. The real fight was in space. The real battle would take place beyond Earth's atmosphere, where humanity's secret fleet would have to face the mighty forces of the Galactic Council. But Carter wasn't concerned. He knew that humanity's ships were far more than just weapons. They were symbols of hope, of defiance. These ships were a testament to everything humanity had fought for: their survival, their independence, and their will to protect their home. On the outskirts of the solar system, the Galactic Fleet moved closer, its massive ships coming into view on every monitor. The alien forces were formidable, with ships the size of small moons and weapons that could destroy entire planets with a single blast. The Council had believed that their power would be enough to crush humanity without even a fight. But they had made a grave mistake. As the first of the alien ships entered Earth's orbit, Commander Carter gave the order: "Activate the fleet. Launch on my command." In the deep silence of space, the first of humanity's warships shot out from its hidden base, cloaked in the darkness of the asteroid field. Its sleek, dark hull shimmered in the void, barely visible to the approaching alien fleet. It was one of the smallest ships in Earth's arsenal, but it was fast, agile, and equipped with enough firepower to put any alien ship to shame. "Coordinates locked," General Jensen said, her fingers flying over the control panel. "The first ship is on course. We're ready." Commander Carter stared at the large holographic map of the battlefield. The Galactic Fleet had already begun to deploy, but humanity's ships were scattered across the solar system, hidden and waiting for the right moment. Each ship would engage at a different time, striking when the Council least expected it. The key was precision and surprise. "Now," Carter said, his voice steady as he watched the first ship position itself. Without warning, the human warship fired. A blinding flash lit up the darkness of space as it launched a barrage of energy blasts toward the nearest alien ship. The Galactic Fleet responded, but it was already too late. Humanity's warships were too fast, too unpredictable. They darted around the larger alien ships with ease, striking at weak points, hitting them where they least expected it. General Jensen let out a breath, watching the enemy ships react. They didn't see that coming. The Galactic Fleet, accustomed to overwhelming force and intimidation, was now in disarray. They had underestimated Earth's strength, and the human fleet was proving that Earth was not the helpless, insignificant planet they believed it to be. But Commander Carter knew that this was just the beginning. The battle had only just begun, and Earth's hidden strength was only now being revealed. The Galactic Council had made the fatal mistake of thinking humanity was weak. Now they would see exactly how wrong they were. Humanity wasn't just fighting for survival. They were fighting for their place in the galaxy. And they would not. The warships unleashed. The battle was now in full swing. Humanity had shown the Galactic Fleet that they were not a species to be easily subdued. The first wave of human warships had struck with precision and speed, catching the galactic forces off guard. The sight of Earth's sleek, fast ships darting through space, launching devastating attacks on the larger, slower alien vessels, sent shockwaves through the Council's forces. Commander Alex Carter watched from the command center aboard Earth's hidden flagship, the Victory, as his fleet moved in perfect synchronization. Each warship was a work of art. Its technology advanced far beyond what the Galactic Council had imagined. They were faster than anything the Council had, and each ship was armed with weapons capable of destroying even the toughest enemy hulls. What they lacked in size, they made up for in agility and firepower. "Enemy ships are breaking formation," General Maria Jensen observed, her eyes scanning the tactical display. "They're not used to this kind of fight. They've never faced anything like us before." Carter's eyes were sharp as he watched the display, his mind calculating each move, each strike. The battle was playing out just as he had predicted. Earth's fleet was picking off the larger alien ships one by one, exploiting every weakness. The Galactic Council, used to overwhelming force and control, was now scrambling to adapt to this new type of warfare. They had expected Earth's military to crumble before their might, to bend to their will in the face of superior technology. Instead, they found themselves in a desperate struggle against a foe that was elusive, unpredictable, and determined. The victory was at the heart of the human fleet, its massive engines firing as it maneuvered between the chaos of battle. The ship's weapon systems lit up as it fired wave after wave of plasma blasts at the approaching enemy ships. Each hit sent a shockwave rippling through space, and with each explosion, the Council's forces were beginning to lose their nerve. "This is incredible," General Jensen said, awe creeping into her voice. They never expected this kind of resistance. Carter didn't respond at first, his focus unwavering. The battle wasn't over yet. The Galactic Fleet may have been surprised, but they were still a force to be reckoned with. Earth's ships had to keep the pressure on, strike fast, and strike hard. "Sir," came the voice of Captain Marcus Lai, one of the commanders aboard the Victory. "We've just received a communication from one of the outer ships. The Council is calling for reinforcements. They're sending in a battle group twice the size of the first wave." Carter's expression hardened. He had known this would happen. The Galactic Council wouldn't give up so easily, but Earth's warships were prepared for this. The reinforcements might be larger, but humanity's ships were faster, more agile, and equipped with advanced cloaking technology that would give them the upper hand. "Deploy all available ships to intercept," Carter ordered, his voice calm but filled with authority. "We'll hit them before they have a chance to regroup." The battle had reached a critical point. The reinforcements were on their way, and the Galactic Fleet was beginning to pull back, regrouping in an attempt to form a more organized line of defense. The time for surprise attacks was over. Now, humanity would have to fight with everything they had. Commander Carter's mind raced as he made his plans. The key to victory was not brute force but strategy. Earth's warships could not match the Council's fleet in sheer numbers, but they could outmaneuver and outthink them. Carter knew that the Council relied too heavily on their firepower and the size of their ships. They didn't understand how humanity fought, how humanity adapted in the face of overwhelming odds. The human fleet would have to use every advantage they had. They would strike quickly and without warning, using speed, agility, and technology to disrupt the Council's formations. "Activate the cloaking systems," Carter ordered. "Prepare for the final strike." As the order was relayed across the fleet, the human warships began to disappear from the Council's radar. Each ship activated its cloaking device, vanishing from sight in the vastness of space. To the alien fleet, it must have seemed like Earth's warships had disappeared into thin air. But Carter knew exactly where his ships were. The cloaking devices allowed them to remain undetected, but it also gave them an incredible advantage in the chaos of battle. The Council's fleet, now spread thin with reinforcements arriving, would have no idea where the next attack would. Suddenly, a flash of light cut through the darkness. A massive blast rocked one of the larger alien ships, sending it spiraling out of control. The Victory had fired its main cannon, a powerful energy beam capable of cutting through the thickest alien hulls. The blast had come from nowhere, and the alien ship was now a fiery wreck, its debris scattering across the void. The Galactic Council was stunned. The reinforcements were only just arriving, and they had already lost one of their flagship vessels. Panic began to spread throughout the enemy ranks. For the first time in this battle, they were beginning to realize that Earth's warships were not to be underestimated. "We've got them on the run," General Jensen said, a grin spreading across her face. "They're in disarray. We can finish this now." Carter nodded, his eyes fixed on the battlefield. "Hold your fire. Let them believe they have a chance to regroup." The Galactic Fleet was struggling to maintain any semblance of order. The warships that had once appeared so imposing now seemed clumsy and vulnerable in the face of Earth's unpredictable strikes. Commander Carter knew that the Galactic Council's confidence was starting to crack. The tables had turned, and it was only a matter of time before humanity's hidden strength became undeniable. "Prepare for the final assault," Carter ordered. "This ends now." With that, the human fleet, now fully coordinated, moved in for the kill. The galactic fleet had no idea what was coming. Humanity's warships had been unleashed, and they were fighting for their survival, for their place in the galaxy. And they would not stop until the Galactic Council learned the price of underestimating Earth. The tide turns. As the galactic fleet tried to regroup, their formation was in chaos. The surprise of the cloaked attacks had caught them off guard, and now they were desperate to reorganize. Earth's warships moved with precision, cutting through the void of space like predators hunting their prey. The galactic fleet was at a disadvantage. They were slower, larger, and their ships lacked the maneuverability that humanity's warships had perfected. The aliens had come with overwhelming numbers, expecting Earth's forces to buckle under the weight of their strength. But what they didn't anticipate was how adaptable and resourceful humans could be, especially when cornered. Commander Carter had carefully orchestrated this fight. He knew that the key to winning wasn't brute force but strategy. While the Council's fleet was busy scrambling to find Earth's warships, Carter had ordered his ships to stay silent and move in complete formation. It was like a ghostly dance through the stars, each ship positioned for the perfect strike. General Maria Jensen stood by Carter's side in the command center aboard the Victory. She had been with him through many battles, and she knew when he was planning something big. The tension in the room was palpable as the large holographic map in front of them displayed the movements of the alien fleet. "They don't know what's coming," Jensen said, her voice a mix of excitement and focus. "They're trying to fix their formation, but we've already infiltrated their ranks." Carter nodded. "Exactly. Their reinforcements were meant to intimidate us, but now they've become part of the problem. They're overextended." From the command center, the view of the battle was nothing short of extraordinary. Earth's ships had split into smaller groups, each with a specific target. Their movements were calculated and swift, taking full advantage of the galactic fleet's disarray. The battle wasn't just a war of ships. It was a battle of minds. Carter's strategy was to make the enemy feel the sting of each attack, each loss, until their morale shattered. The galactic forces may have had the firepower, but humans had something they didn't: the will to win, the will to survive. "Captain Lee," Carter's voice cut through the room, calm and steady. "Deploy the next wave. We hit them hard and fast, no mercy." Captain Marcus Lee, standing at his station, nodded. "Understood, Commander." At that moment, Earth's warships struck with devastating force. A massive energy beam shot from the Victory, its target an alien flagship in the distance. The beam was nearly invisible, cutting through the void, and then exploding into a ball of fiery destruction upon impact. The alien ship had no time to react. It was obliterated in an "Target eliminated," General Jensen said, a grim satisfaction in her voice. "They won't recover from that." The galactic fleet watched in horror as one of their flagship vessels turned into space debris, leaving behind nothing but destruction. Panic spread like wildfire among the aliens. The once formidable fleet now looked like a collection of disorganized ships with no leadership, no clear strategy. Their once proud lines of battle were dissolving into chaos. "Victory's main cannon is fully charged," Captain Lai reported, "ready to fire again." But Commander Carter had other plans. He could feel the tide of the battle turning. There was no need to waste more firepower when the Victory was almost theirs. The remaining alien ships were scattering, trying to escape, but Earth's warships were faster, more agile, and relentless. The Galactic Council had no chance to escape. "Hold your fire," Carter ordered. "Let them run. The message has been sent." Jensen looked at him with raised eyebrows. "You're not going to destroy the rest of their ships?" Carter shook his head, a hard smile playing on his lips. "No. Let them live with the knowledge of what we've done. Let them report back to the Council. Earth is no longer to be underestimated." The remaining alien ships, now in full retreat, had no idea where to go. Earth's warships had effectively surrounded them, cutting off all possible escape routes. Some of the alien ships tried to flee into deep space, but they were hunted down and neutralized one by one. Soon, the once proud galactic fleet was reduced to nothing more than debris floating in the emptiness of space. The humans had done it. Against all odds, they had won. Not with superior numbers, but with superior tactics, superior willpower, and a fierce desire to protect their home. Commander Carter leaned back in his chair, his eyes still fixed on the screen. The battle was over, but the war had only just begun. The Galactic Council would have to send a message to every corner of the galaxy. Earth would not be intimidated. Humanity was no longer weak, no longer helpless. They were a force to be reckoned with. As the final alien ships were taken down, General Jensen looked over at Carter, her expression one of respect. "We did it, Commander." Carter's face remained stoic, but there was a glint of pride in his eyes. This was just the beginning. And with that, the battle for Earth was over. But humanity had proven something far more important than their victory. They had proven that they would never go down without a fight. The Council's fury. News of the defeat spread quickly across the galaxy. The Galactic Council's once unshakable confidence was shattered, replaced by an overwhelming fury that rippled through their ranks. How could they, the most powerful empire in the known universe, have been bested by a race so young and inexperienced? How had humanity, a species considered weak and primitive by so many, managed to destroy their most advanced fleets so efficiently? The Galactic Council had underestimated Earth, and the consequences were far more severe than they could have imagined. On the Council's homeworld, representatives from every corner of the galaxy gathered in an enormous high-tech hall. The atmosphere was tense. No one spoke. Every delegate could feel the weight of failure pressing down on them. The once proud Galactic Empire, which had crushed countless civilizations, now faced the humiliation of defeat at the hands of humans. At the center of the room, Counselor John, the leader of the Galactic Council, stood, his sharp eyes scanning the room full of anxious faces. His fingers tightened on the edges of the table in front of him, his anger simmering just below the surface. "We cannot allow this to go unpunished," John said, his voice cold, filled with authority. "We've made a grave mistake. Humanity has defied us, and we cannot let them get away." A chorus of angry murmurs followed his statement. Some delegates were in favor of immediate retaliation, but others were more cautious. There were those who believed the loss of so many warships, the humiliation of their fleet's collapse, meant that a more strategic approach was needed. They couldn't just send another fleet. Earth's ships were too fast, too unpredictable. The warships had proven themselves to be deadly, far beyond what the Council had believed possible. Counselor Terra, a representative from a neighboring star system, spoke up. "Our forces are in disarray. It will take years to rebuild, and that is assuming our resources are not spread too thin already. If we send another fleet, it will likely suffer the same fate." Jean's eyes narrowed. "Then what do you suggest? That we let Earth get away with this? That we let them keep their place in the galaxy? Do we allow them to become a beacon of defiance to every other civilization?" Terra hesitated. "We need more information. We need to understand how humanity fought so effectively. We need to know what we are up against before we act." But John was not listening. He was consumed by the desire for revenge, a deep need to restore the Galactic Council's pride. "We will send someone, not a fleet, but an individual, someone who can infiltrate their ranks, someone who will find the weakness we can exploit. We will learn what makes them tick." He turned to an advisor who had been quietly waiting for his cue. "Call in the special agents. I want one of them to be sent to Earth immediately. Let them discover what made humanity so dangerous. Once we know their secrets, we will wipe them out." The advisor nodded and left the room, and the delegates continued to murmur amongst themselves. There was fear in the air, but there was also anger. The Galactic Council had never been defeated like this, and it was clear they were not prepared for the aftermath. The task that lay ahead of them was monumental, and it would require more than just another fleet. Meanwhile, far away, on Earth's hidden flagship Victory, Commander Carter and his team were preparing for the inevitable retaliation. They had won the first battle, but the war was far from over. Earth had made a powerful statement, but the Council wouldn't back down easily. Carter knew that this was just the beginning. The Galactic Council, though momentarily stunned, would soon regroup and come after them again. But this time, humanity would be ready. He sat in his chair, staring at the holographic map of Earth's fleet and the remnants of the galactic fleet scattered across the stars. The warships had returned to Earth for repairs, but there was no rest for the weary. The Galactic Council would come back with a vengeance. "We need to stay sharp," Carter said, his voice low, his eyes scanning the status reports. "This fight isn't over. They will regroup, and we need to be ready." General Jensen, standing by his side, nodded. "We've shown them we can fight back, but they won't make the same mistake again. The next attack will be more calculated, more precise." "I know," Carter replied, "and we will be ready for it. But we need to make sure that the rest of the galaxy understands that Earth is not to be trifled with. We have to keep showing them that humanity will fight to the last breath." The silence in the room was thick with the weight of what was to come. The victory had been sweet, but it was just a small part of a much larger war. The Galactic Council's wrath was inevitable, but so was humanity's resolve. Earth's warships were ready. The fight for survival, for the future of Earth, had only just begun. And as Commander Carter looked out into the stars, he felt a deep sense of determination. Humanity had proven its strength, but now it was time to show the galaxy that Earth would never bow down. Not to the Council, not to any empire. Earth was strong, and it would stand. The shadows strike. The war was escalating, and with each passing day, the stakes grew higher. After the crushing defeat of their fleet, the Galactic Council was consumed by rage, plotting their revenge against Earth. They were no longer underestimating humanity. Instead, they now viewed Earth as a dangerous opponent that had to be destroyed. The Council had sent a special agent to infiltrate Earth's defenses. This agent was no ordinary soldier. He was a master of espionage, capable of blending into any environment, using advanced technologies to mask his presence. His mission was simple: find Earth's weaknesses and exploit them, even if it meant becoming part of the human world, to gather intel from within. The agent, known only as Core, was dispatched in the dead of space, aboard a cloaked vessel. The humans had no idea he was coming. He was silent, a shadow in the dark vastness of space. His ship was a technological marvel, designed for stealth. On Earth, Commander Carter knew it was only a matter of time before the Galactic Council sent someone to infiltrate their ranks. They had won the first battle, but the true war was still ahead, and he couldn't shake the feeling that something, or someone, was coming. But they couldn't afford to wait idly by, hoping to be prepared. They had to act fast. "We have to fortify Earth's defenses," Carter said, his voice grave. "We can't trust anyone, not anymore. Not even our allies." General Jensen nodded, looking over a holographic map of Earth's defenses. "We've been over this 100 times. Every ship is on high alert. But the real threat isn't from space, it's from within." Carter turned to her. "You think they've already infiltrated us?" Jensen hesitated for a moment, then replied, "It's possible. They've got the technology to bypass anything we've got." Meanwhile, the Agent Core had successfully infiltrated Earth's capital city, posing as a refugee from a nearby star system. Using advanced nanotech, he altered his appearance to blend in seamlessly with the humans. His objective was clear: locate a way to break Earth's resolve, sow distrust among their leaders, and sabotage their defenses from the inside. The humans, oblivious to his presence, welcomed him with open arms. Earth was a land of unity now, a place where all peoples, human and alien alike, could coexist. Or so they thought. Core walked the streets, carefully observing, noting down any potential weak points he could exploit. It didn't take long for him to notice one thing that stood out. Humanity's greatest strength, its unity, could also become its greatest vulnerability. He saw how deep the humans' loyalty ran, how strongly they believed in their cause. This sense of camaraderie was something the Galactic Council could use against them. He began to plant small seeds of doubt, subtle manipulations, whispers of betrayal from within, rumors that could break the bond between Earth's people. He knew that a divided Earth would be far easier to defeat. Back aboard the Victory, Commander Carter continued to prepare his forces for the inevitable second wave. The battle was far from over, and each decision weighed heavily on him. Earth had been victorious once, but he knew that this was only the beginning of a long and brutal war. In the silence of the command center, Carter looked out the viewports, staring at the distant stars. His thoughts wandered to his family, to the people who had fought and died for this planet, and to the future of humanity. He knew what was at stake. "We can't afford to make the same mistakes," Carter muttered under his breath. "We won't lose everything now." Suddenly, a notification pinged on the command console. A report came in about strange behavior among the population, an uptick in conspiracy theories, sudden distrust among government officials, and several rumors of alien sympathizers within Earth's military ranks. It seemed too coordinated to be a coincidence. Jensen looked up, concerned. This could be it. The enemy's making their move. Core's getting to them from within. Carter's heart skipped a beat. The infiltration had begun. The Council had played their cards, and Earth was now in more danger than ever before. But Carter was no stranger to adversity. He had already led humanity to one victory. Now he would do whatever it took to protect. "We need to act quickly," Carter said, his voice resolute. "Set up counterintelligence teams. I want every base, every station on alert. We won't let them tear us apart from the inside." Jensen turned to execute the orders, but Carter's mind was racing. The enemy had learned from their mistakes. This time, they weren't coming with brute force. They were coming with deceit, with manipulation. They were coming to break humanity's unity. And Carter would stop them. Hours later, Carter's worst fears were confirmed. Earth's defenses were not the only thing at risk. The Council's agent had successfully turned several high-ranking officials, and the rumors had spread like wildfire. The Galactic Council had done what they had set out to do: separate humanity, divide them at their core. But the fight was far from over. Carter knew that despite the agent's success, humanity's spirit was far stronger than any manipulation. They had faced worse before, and they had overcome it. Earth's fight for survival had just entered a new phase. The battle wasn't just against the Galactic Council. It was now a battle for Earth's very soul, the final stand. The war had taken its toll on both sides. Humanity had been tested in ways no one could have imagined. The Galactic Council had underestimated Earth's resilience, but now they were pushing every possible advantage to break humanity's will. Commander Carter knew the time had come for the final confrontation. Earth was on high alert. The streets were quieter than they had been in months, the calm before the storm. Humanity was preparing for the worst, but they were also ready to fight back. Despite the infiltrations and the betrayal that had struck deep at the heart of Earth's leadership, there was one thing that held true: humanity would not be broken. Carter stood in the command center of Victory, looking over the fleet's readiness reports. He was calm, but inside, his heart was racing. This wasn't just another battle. It was the battle for Earth's future. The warships were at the ready, their guns primed for what was to come. The Galactic Council, after weeks of hiding in the shadows, had finally made their move. They were coming with their full might, a fleet larger than any humanity had faced before. "We're ready," General Jensen said, stepping up to Carter's side. "We've got the intelligence we need. The Agent Core is still on Earth, but his network is unraveling. People are starting to question his loyalties. The Council's plan is starting to fall apart." Carter nodded. The betrayal within their ranks had been costly, But the cracks in the Galactic Council's strategy were starting to show. Humanity was rebuilding its trust, pulling together after the damage had been done. It wasn't perfect, but it was enough to keep the fight going. "But the fleet they're sending," Carter said quietly, his gaze fixed on the tactical map. "It's bigger than anything we faced. They won't make the same mistakes again. They won't underestimate us this time." Jensen's voice grew more determined. "They think their fleet will crush us, but they don't know the strength of the human spirit. They don't know what we're capable of when we stand together." Carter turned to face the holographic map of the galaxy. The galactic fleet was on the move, its ships already breaking through the outer defenses. The battle was imminent. There was no time left for second guesses, no room. As the first waves of the galactic fleet came into view, Carter's heart pounded in his chest. The massive warships loomed in the distance, their dark silhouettes a stark reminder of the power the Council held. Yet Carter knew they had something the Council didn't: unity. Humanity had come together, determined to protect their home, their way of life. "We hold the line here," Carter said, his voice steady despite the pressure. "We don't give an inch. We fight for Earth. We fight for every man, woman, and child that's ever called this planet home." The human fleet moved into position, and for the first time, the full scale of the galactic fleet became clear. The Council had sent everything they had: destroyers, battleships, carriers, each one a symbol of the might they had wielded for centuries. But what they had in numbers, humanity made up for in innovation, speed, and sheer determination. "All ships, lock onto target," Carter ordered, his eyes never leaving the screen. "Prepare to engage. We're going to show the galaxy what happens when they mess with Earth." The battle began with a fury. The first wave of galactic ships charged forward, their weapons unleashed in a deadly barrage. Humanity's fleet countered with an intensity that stunned the invaders. The humans had learned from every previous encounter, and their ships were faster, more maneuverable, and equipped with new tech that the Galactic Council hadn't seen before. The space between the two fleets erupted in bright flashes of energy, as beams of concentrated fire streaked through the void. Warships collided with an ear-splitting crash, and the once invincible galactic fleet began to lose ground. Each victory by humanity was met with an even fiercer counterattack from the Council's ships, but humanity would not relent. Commander Carter's voice was the calm center in the chaos, coordinating their efforts as the battle raged on. His fleet was holding strong, even as casualties mounted. They had faced impossible odds before, but now it felt as though the galaxy itself was watching them. The Galactic Council underestimated humanity once more. They thought the humans would break under pressure, but they were wrong. The turning point came when the Victory, the flagship of Earth's fleet, engaged the Galactic Council's lead ship, the Revenge, in a brutal one-on-one battle. Carter's fleet was outgunned and outnumbered, but they had one thing the Council didn't: the will to survive. With a final, precise strike, humanity's forces crippled the Revenge, sending a shockwave through the remaining galactic ships. It wasn't the end of the battle, but it was enough to turn the tide. The Council's fleet began to retreat, their arrogance shattered. For the first time in this war, it became clear: Earth would not fall. As the last of the galactic ships fled back into the void, Carter let out a long, slow breath. He had fought hard for this moment, but he knew the war wasn't truly over. The Galactic Council would regroup, lick their wounds, and try again, but Earth would be ready. The victory wasn't just about defeating a fleet. It was about sending a message. Humanity would never be enslaved. Humanity would never surrender. And the stars themselves would be their battleground. Humanity had earned its place in the galaxy, and no one, not even the might of the Galactic Council, could take that.